Hello, dear subscribers. I'm happy to welcome you to my YouTube channel, which is dedicated to your personal growth and is created to encourage and motivate you. Together, we'll reveal how to succeed and become better versions of ourselves. And today, we'll talk about positive thinking. We have often heard that we are the results of our thoughts, and that is absolute truth. I would say we are our thoughts. Our life, relationships, standards of living, health, happiness, all these depend on our thoughts. And if our life depends on our thoughts, then we can say that if a person has positive thinking, his life will go in a positive direction. And likewise, if a person has negative thinking, he is doomed to failure. It is important to realize that some people are not doomed to be happy and others to be unhappy and miserable. People are equal, and their equality lies in their right to choose, and the secret of happiness lies in our positive choices. Nevertheless, statistics show that most of people don't tend to have positive attitude and positive mindset from their birth. People mostly tend to notice and to see the negative and the problems than the positive and the solutions. And despite this, there is good news for all these people. You can learn to think positively. Yes, positive thinking is an acquired skill which you can learn, develop, practice, and master. Now, achieving positive mindset will be easier if we first uncover and diagnose the existence of negative thinking within us. The question is that most people who suffer from negative thinking, in the most cases, they don't see and don't realize that they have such a problem. We know that if one person remains in the same situation for a long time, he or she begins to adapt to that situation and think of it as something natural and usual. So, remaining in the same situation or status is dangerous for you because you may eventually get used to it and consider it your own. In the case of negative thinking, the negative thinking and the misbehavior it causes become the comfort zone of a person from where he or she doesn't want to get out. The worst thing that can ever happen to a person is getting used to negativity. We should oppose this situation and direct all our efforts to overcome negativity as soon as possible. It is very important to realize that negativity is a wrong way. It is a road that leads to nowhere. Negative thinking leads to negative consequences, and positive thinking leads to positive consequences. Being in the clutches of negative thinking, a person tangles in a maze where negative thoughts, negative words, negative behavior, and negative consequences follow each other. And these negative consequences, of course, generate new negative thoughts. And only positive thinking can break this chain, and that is what we want to achieve in the end of these video trainings. Let's talk about a few characteristics of people with negative thinking. So first one is chronic bad mood. In this case, people are always in a bad mood. They can't enjoy their life and communication with other people. The second is negative filtering. This means to filter out all the good from a situation and leave yourself only with a view of bad. And the third characteristic is catastrophizing. In this case, person is always anxious about future and waits something terrible to happen. And the next one is so-called black and white thinking. It is the tendency to think in extremes. This all or nothing mindset doesn't allow a person to find the middle ground. For these people, if life isn't perfect, then it is terrible. And the next one is jumping to conclusions. People who suffer with from negative thinking, they almost always tend to jump into conclusions. They either try to guess what other people think about them, or they try to predict the future, forming negative expectations towards future. The next characteristic is generalization. Generalization means to apply one experience to all the other experiences, including those in the future. If you often use words like always, never, everything, nothing, and other extreme words, then there is a risk that you also generalize things. And the next one is personalization, the belief that you are entirely to blame for something, even though you have a little or nothing to do with the outcome. In fact, the situation may not be connected to you in any way at all. And the next characteristic of people with negative thinking is emotional reasoning. When overcome by this faulty type of thinking, people interpreting their situation through their feelings. They feel anxious and then they believe that they are in danger. And finally, the last one is exaggeration, the tendency, strong tendency to exaggerate every little bad thing that happens to a person, and that makes it more difficult for them to overcome the problem. So, all these are characteristics of people with negative thinking. People with such a way of thinking also tend to attach labels to themselves and to other people. They also tend to notice the good qualities in other people, at the same time ignoring their own good characteristics. They seem to overestimate other people and humiliate themselves, and this quality doesn't have anything in common with modesty, because in this case we are dealing with behavioral deviation caused by negative thinking. Here is all about negative thinking. We can say that it's a unique disease that not only reduces the quality of life but also threatens a person's life. If you have two or more characteristics mentioned above, then there is a risk that you are also captured in the hands of negative thinking, and you have to immediately free yourself from there. Negative thinking is a vicious habit that disrupts your healthy thinking, drives people away from you, makes you repeat the same mistakes over and over, and doesn't allow you to develop and become the best version of yourself. But there is good news. You can change this situation. The decision to develop a positive mindset is a fateful decision. It will change your life and, of course, change it for the better. If you really decided to develop a positive mindset, be ready to be no more a loser but a happy and successful person. Scientific researches of many decades prove the beneficial effect of positive thinking on people's mental and physical health. According to this scientific research, people with positive mindset have longer life expectancy. They are less likely to suffer from heart attacks or other cardiovascular diseases, and they have stronger immune system. They don't tend to have high blood pressure, and they are more pain resistant. And in terms of character and temperament, people with positive thinking are more creative, have developed problem solving skills, they are more sober minded, they are also always in a good mood, and they are less likely to suffer from depression. So, these are some of those positive effects that will come with positive thinking. And now let's talk about the ways in which we can develop a positive mindset. But first, let's discuss a couple of things that we shouldn't do during this process. And first one, we shouldn't use positive thinking to block every negative thing. Sometimes bad things happen to you and you feel really bad, and you shouldn't pretend that nothing has happened, that life is perfect and you have no problem. These forced thoughts may have the opposite effect. Instead, you had better to identify your problem, evaluate it, and look for the solutions to this problem. This should be your correct response. Very often, people who decide to develop a positive mindset, they used to saying that I must develop a positive mindset. I must do this thing. I must do the other thing. And this must create feelings of tension and pressure. And we understand that it can't help them to develop a positive mindset. The question is that positive thinking is the result of self growth and self improvement, and it can't appear immediately after you decided to develop it. It takes time, so be patient. Just live your everyday life, redirecting your thoughts to positive from time to time. At first, this behavior may seem strange to you, but if you practice it continually, positive thinking will become your habit, and then it will become a undividable part of your character. Some negative thoughts enter your mind subconsciously and are manifested automatically. You don't choose to have that kind of thoughts, but they appear somehow. And if one day you decide to write down all these thoughts, it may look funny how these thoughts are away from reality, far from reality. Remember, negative thoughts never reflect your true reality. Just replace them with positive ones. Tell yourself, I'm loved every time you have a thought that you are not. Tell yourself, I'm smart every time a thought comes to convince you that you are not. Tell yourself, I'm successful every time you have a thought that you are not, and so on. Just replace your negative thoughts with positive ones. Even for no reason, make positive declarations over your life and believe that it works. Now, let's discuss some actions which will help us to develop a positive mindset. And the first step is think and talk about yourself only in a positive way, using positive words only. Your positive mindset depends on what you think and talk about yourself, and the process of forming positive attitude towards other people should start from developing a positive self-perception. Remember and write down all the good and strong aspects of your character. Forgive yourself for past mistakes. Form high and real self assessment and declare all the positive over your life. You see often negative attitude towards other people. In the root of it lies negative self perception. Remember that you are the unique and wonderful masterpiece of God, and that is why you have no right to think negatively about yourself. So, talk and think about yourself only in a positive way. And also remember that your speech shouldn't be emotionally heavy charged. We are used to using words that contain much emotion, and it is not in our favor. Get rid of your habit of over emotional speech, and you will notice how your thoughts become positive. Second step towards positive thinking is think and talk positively about the world and other people around you. Our happiness depends on the world and the society we live in, and it's clear that we can't feel comfortable and happy in a world we have bad opinion of or we think and talk negative about. So, if we say that we are our thoughts, then likewise we can say that the people around us and the world around us are what we think and talk about them. So let's try to see people in a more positive light. Try to continually forgive, love, understand, value, and justify people. Don't try to change them. Just accept them as they are and try to serve them and be useful to them. Also, pay attention to your lexicon. Sometimes using negative words becomes a habit which we won't notice then, and write down all the negative words you use during a day and then replace them with positive ones and repeat this until using positive words becomes your habit. So second step, think and talk positively about the world and the people around you. And the third step is not to complain. Don't complain. Try to see encouraging and positive sides in every situation. Number one reason why you shouldn't complain is because complaint is absolutely useless action. It robs you of your energy, spiritual power, joy, good mood, time, and gives you nothing in return. You may have noticed that you also avoid contact with complaining people because they transmit negative charges to you, and other people feel exactly the same when you start to complain. Practice gratitude instead of complaining. Be grateful for everything, for your health, for good weather, for one more day lived, just for everything. Gratitude is the key to happiness, but complaint makes you unhappy. In order to develop the quality of gratitude, you can practice keeping a gratitude diary. It is already a common practice when people write down all the good things, positive things that happened to them during a week or during a day, things that made them happier, things they are grateful for. And this helps to focus on positive things in your life, to notice and value simple things in your life and be grateful for them. So, the third step, don't complain. The next one is your positive actions. When someone decides to transform his way of thinking into positive, transformed speech and transformed behavior should surely follow. And it is impossible to act in a kind, honest, unselfish, polite way and not to become a positive person. It is impossible to encourage people, help them, comfort them, make them happy, and remain the same. These kind of actions will surely transform your life. So, if every single good deed, even a small one, makes a person feel valuable, happy, satisfied, and these kinds of feelings surely help people to generate positive thoughts. So, good deeds, positive actions characterize positive people. Number five, and this step is very simple. Often visit positive places and events. Avoid monotony and isolation. Surround yourself with enjoyable events which charge you with positive energy. And number six, the process of developing a positive mindset mostly depends on the sources of information that feed our mind. So try to receive information that will encourage you, motivate you, and promote your personal growth. Try to receive information that will effectively fill your free time and will improve your personal qualification. That is very important. So, number six, the sources of your information should be positive. And number seven, the seventh step to the way on your way to positive thinking is forming positive habits. Your mind and your body are interconnected. The state of your mind affects on your body, and also the state of your body causes changes in your mind. So your mental health depends on your physical health. And here are some useful advices how to form positive habits. First, pay attention to your diet. Try to eat healthy and easy to digest food. Avoid eating unhealthy foods such as carbonated drinks, white flour, sugar, salt, fried and fatty food, fast food. Try to eat food that will provide you the needed energy, and try to drink the required amount of water. Also, watch your weight. Don't allow yourself to gain weight. Do sports. Avoid completely sedentary lifestyle. Give up alcohol and smoking, undergo all the necessary medical examinations, and also see a doctor if you feel unwell. All these are positive habits that will improve the state of your body, and the state of your body will improve the state of your mind. And personal care is also a positive habit that will provide you good mood and confidence. And even if you don't have enough resources for attending gym, for consulting a nutritionist, or for cosmetic procedures, even with a slight desire, you can organize all these at home within your means. So, step number seven, forming positive habits. And step number eight, surround yourself with positive people. Yes, more live communications, more time spent with your loved ones. Surrounding yourself with positive people, you will become one of them. So, we talked about 8 steps that will help us to develop positive mindset. Repeating these 8 steps continuously and consistently, you will soon notice that you have made a huge progress towards positive thinking. It's important to remember that these steps will become your habits and then stable character traits only if you continually and consistently practice and repeat them. Practice and repeat them. Don't give up. Just practice and repeat them. And one day you will succeed. And finally, The step number 9, perhaps the most important step, is believe. Believe that you can do all this. Believe that you will succeed. When achieving your goals, there is nothing more powerful than faith. When you just learn learn driving, you are often confused and you often break traffic rules. But as your skills improve, you start to drive better and better, and finally, one day, driving becomes your developed skill, and the things are the same with positive thinking, only practice and repeat. Practice and repeat, and don't give up. So, don't delay your decision to develop a positive mindset because experience shows that delayed goals are unfulfilled goals. As a person who has taken a fatal step from negative to positive thinking, I can assure you that all your efforts and expectations will be justified. A positive mindset will change your life and the lives of your loved ones. This was all about positive thinking. I hope it motivated and encouraged you and filled you with determination to start transforming your mindset. If you are interested in personal growth issues, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Feel free to like and share videos. We'll meet soon with more interesting and useful information. Stay in a positive, in a good mood, stay encouraged and motivated.